this one brother came, bro. He went ape shit, bro. I had to lock him in the cage because he wasn't having it, and I know the reason why he was like that. But it wasn't nothing that had to do with me. But he did have something that I knew personally that he did that I feel like Nino picked up on, and that's why I was like, I ain't fucking with this dude, bro.
That's the difference between me and you. Because if my dog would have reacted like that, and it's a house full of people, you can't come in here.
Yeah.
I'm not letting you cross my threshold. Your energy ain't right.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't coming in here. If my dogs tell you you ain't coming in, I'm telling you the same thing. We on the same page.
Mm-hmm. And I get it, and I agree with you. But what I'll do is I ain't gonna share it on here. But when we talk off here, I'll tell you what that reason why it was, and I think I know it'll make a lot more sense to you. But that's what I know why.
It don't matter. It don't matter
Mhm.
what the reason was. I could have knew the reason the dog didn't like him. If my dog don't like you, you're not coming in the house.
Oh no,
Because
I get
I'm
it.
not putting my dog up. First off, I'm not putting him up. I'm not putting him up. He live here. You don't.
Listen,
So if
we
you
we
say you can't come in, you ain't coming in. I'm gonna come outside and talk to you.
no, we all
Bye.
right. Cause look, I let him out. I let him in. I let him come in. I put Nino up for a minute, and then I was like, all right, bro, I gotta let him out because, like I said, we are alike, and I'm like, this is his house, and he has the right to go wherever he want to go, whatever he wants. So I let him out, right? And he ran right up on. I was like, oh my god, like he really was not having it. So bro knew what it was. He ended up going outside, smoking a cigarette, chilling out there. He knew what it was. So it's like I had to let Nino do what he do because that's his house. But it's just crazy because
My
that's
dog
what.
bites you, I'm whooping you. That's all I can tell you. If my dog bites you, I'm whooping you, especially at my house.
I got a few stories I'm gonna share with you off the air about that because I had a couple of situations where I was ready, I wanted to, but whoever that person was,
Look,
they took them all the way in.
I told my mom about my dog hate my friend, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she was telling me, you better listen to your dog. I said, Mama, always listen to my dog. That's why
Right.
I'm telling you my dog doing. And she was like, that dog know that SOB ain't no earthly good.
Mm-hmm. That's facts.
Or he
Yeah,
don't mean you no good is what she said. He don't mean you no good.
that's facts. Yeah, that's real. They tell you, and I know you know this too. Like I could literally, like even with Chapo, and Chapo's the polar opposite, and I love it because he, I feel like hell. I feel like what's crazy? That's dope, man. This just literally just hit me just now. I would say it crystallized or it made sense, but I guess it was Nino was like me. I wasn't like that as far as wanting smoke with people, but if people came at me, I
I
kind of
was.
like. I didn't want it. I didn't look for it. Nino looked for it and wanted it. I didn't look for it. I still don't, and I don't want it. But if you come and give it to me, I'm gonna give it back. That's all. That's how I am. But Chapo though,
I'm
Chapo was
saying 50 explained it the best. 50
I'm gonna
say,
highlight
50 say, 50 say I never want a problem. But when they got a problem, I say, no problem. And now I'm the problem.
you. That's why I highlighted you because I knew that was coming. But I had with Magneto Stone. You know what I'm saying? So it's like spirited, man, for real, for real, for real, for real, for real, for real, man. But hey, I know the timeline that we had, Big Chief, and I'm gonna make sure I stay respectful of your time, man. But with that, um, last question I got is when it comes to September. I know you've had several downloads and just different I feel like interactions with spirit or with just the energy of the divine communicating with you. Have you had any updates or is there anything that you might want to share with us or forewarn or just prepare us for, equip us for or with, in regards to
Whatever it
your
is, it's going to be some good stuff.
you want to drop it
But
now?
look, there is something that's going on that we ain't paying attention to, though.
Go ahead. I'm
They
hot
had
for it.
a massive thaw in the Antarctica, 1101, 1110, born again. This melt has caused the ocean current to reverse. I mean, it was a rapid melting of a large portion of ice, which is only normally done by energy weapons because you can't melt ice that fast with a blowtorch. And they said that it upset the salt balance in the ocean by melting that sizable portion of ice at one time, but they don't know what caused it. So they say, I don't believe that they don't know what caused it. I believe that they don't want to tell us what caused it.
What do you think was the
Change in
cause?
current. So we're looking at the return of the sweet water because you got to remember that the ice is fresh water until it's melted into the ocean.
It gets mixed with the salt, right?
Mm-hmm. Because
Mm.
the salt don't freeze. When the water freezes in the ice, it purges the salt. Just
That's
like
deep.
trying to freeze alcohol.
Well, that's you look. That's the second time today that happened. I think my mama did that to me earlier. I was like, man, mess around and drove me off the road. If I got to share my little 2 cents, but you did the same thing. Like, bro, I was gonna say that because the only other element that I know personally, I know of that doesn't freeze is alcohol. So how does like the two? Because they're different. Okay, so how does that?
Salt got a lower freezing point than regular water.
Mm,
Regular water freezes at 32 degrees. The
mm,
temperature had to be below zero for the salt water to freeze. But once it
mm.
freezes, it purges itself of the salt. The first warm day, it'll start melting.
Yeah, that's that. Okay, so that's deep. Okay, so now this is where my little spidey senses are sending me. So when it comes to that to me reminds me of the opposite of like, so for example, with the ice or the alcohol and the salt water not freezing. So would that be like the reverse polarity of like how when we boil water with the heat, it kind of like eliminates like bacteria, and like impurities and all that stuff too? Is that like the
Yeah.
opposite end of the
Well,
spectrum?
it kill living bacteria.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have like trace metals that's toxic, they just gonna concentrate.
Mm.
If you boil salt water until the water boil out, you have salt at the bottom of the pot. But all of the water that left won't have no salt in it.
Wow.
You can't
That's
drink salt water because the saline concentration is higher than the saline concentration in the blood,
mm.
right? Which is the salt level.
Mm.
So when you get a IV and they give you salt water, they giving you that salt in the level that's compatible with the human blood.
Mm.
That's what the saline drip is. It's water, but it's salt water.
You talking about
But
when
it's
like people,
not as salty as ocean water.
right? And that's the one they use like in the hospital and all that when people are dehydrated,
Yeah,
right?
it's saline. Yeah. If you put salt water in there, it's going to cause massive problems. If you put ocean water in there,
Mm. Yeah. Well, there's that. Yeah. And we just had a dope conversation yesterday. HPS Empress Yemayafe. Night. We had a dope conversation. She went in too, but it was dope.
keep
Huh? Yes,
rolling,
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
keep
Yeah,
rolling.
we ain't having none of that. But yeah, man, I appreciate you, Big Chief, and shout out to the tribe who showed up, man. We appreciate all of y'all. Show some love and support for the time and the energy, the efforts and the wisdom, being dropped by Big Chief and all of our guests for that matter. And then shout out again to the brother Arisha Stone. I'm gonna keep flexing with the jewels that man he sent to represent on the channel, man. So we're gonna definitely continue to do that because he got some powerful pieces. So I look forward to receiving some more packages. As a matter of fact, I got some more family I'll be sharing too that he sent to me to share with the tribe. Anybody want to jump on some, man, we got that work, when it comes to the stone. So with that, Big Chief, I appreciate you, brother. I can't thank you enough. It's always been a pleasure, always an honor, and always a damn good time and conversation, man. So with that, much love and much appreciation for you. Yes, sir. Bang banging at his
Uh,
spine.
I ain't got much longer to be on social media. Then I'm
I
gonna be
know.
retired, living my life.
Listen, I know, and look, that's why I'm trying to get it in when I can, man. Get it in and make it do what it do. Cause look, if it wasn't for me being obedient, I wouldn't be here now. But I still look. I know what my marching orders was. And I know what they told me I'm supposed to do. So therefore, I'm gonna make it do what it do. And then they give me the pass. Social media too. But I ain't gonna do it before I get that green light. Yes,
I've
sir.
been kicking and screaming the whole time, so
Listen, you and me both. Chab, y'all forgive me, but that's a real thing. But I'm gonna be real though. I feel everything. Like for real, I feel everything. So it's like feeling everything and being an empath, someone who absorbs different types of energies and frequencies and vibrations, it's not healthy for you to be exposed to a lot. Like just to be real on a serious note. So that's why I am, like you said, a loner. I am someone who I like to stay in my little turtle shell, man. I pop the head and limbs out to do what I got to do, and I'm popping back in that thing so I can stay true because I know, what it is. But I still, I
I'm a
committed.
firm believer that if I stay in my own lane and run over anybody that get in my lane, if you in my lane, you better follow the leader. But anybody, as long as I stay in my own lane, I'm gonna get to the destination I'm supposed to be at. That's why I don't be swerving over in other people's lane. I don't got time for that. I don't want to be part of the energy that ain't part of what I'm talking about.
That's facts, bro. And it's so funny because I remember the last time I saw Professor Kaba in person, he was down here in Jacksonville. Excuse me. And that's one of the major key parts of his presentation was about staying in your lane or him staying in his lane. He's like, my lane is education. Like that's what I do. I'm gonna stick with education and education. I feel like I can go out there and I could do like Mike, in education. But you ain't gonna get me on the basketball court. You ain't gonna get me in a music studio. Like he just went in like, excuse me, what he's not gonna do coming out of his lane. But I respect that because it was so real. I can't even break it down like nowhere near close to how dope he did, but that was like the concept of it. But it resonated with me because that goes back to me. Like I only talk about stuff that I know. You know what I'm saying? And if I don't know it, I'm gonna be yeah, I don't know about that. Let me know. You know what I'm saying? But what I know, and I got receipts. But I know I'm here to do what we doing, and I know we're doing a damn good job, and I appreciate you. And shout out to the tribe because they doing what they do too. And shout out to, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but they said finish it live at 11:10. That's funny because I think that was a number that was in today there was 11:01, 11:10 born again.
Mm-hmm. 17 born again, ain't that something?
Yeah, and look, 11
So
11 boy.
the last thing I'm gonna say is this: most people don't know that they not staying in their lane when they putting their nose in other people's business. If you don't know them people that's talking about that topic and you don't know nothing about the topic and you start butting in with negative interjections, you in the wrong lane. Just so you know. That's it.
Message Tommy Davidson in Living Color. We've had that on the channel a few times, and I try to tell them like very politely and respectfully, please be careful because you have no idea who. And I
And
promise you,
don't.
you do not want that. I promise you. And it ain't about me. I'm just the messenger. What little Scrappy say? You don't want them problems. Yes, sir. All right, Trav, we appreciate y'all, man. So we're gonna wrap it up at 11:11, which is another dope number. So yeah, with that, Big Chief, I appreciate you, bro. I'll definitely be in touch, man. I'll holler at you, man. We're gonna make it do what it do, and in divine time again. But yeah, family, I appreciate the love, support, and y'all keep doing what y'all do. We keep rising, and it is what it is. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. It ain't over till we win. Shout out to Big Chief and the whole Ashe tribe and community. We out, family. We'll see y'all on the next episode. Don't forget to please.
Peace and blessings to the gods. Peace and blessings to the gods. How you feeling, Chief?
Peace and blessings. It's 808 right on the Lions Gate, that 88. You did. We hitting them from the root chakra to the crown, baby.
I say, man. God, man, once again, I gotta always thank you and give a lot of love and appreciation to you, man, because you really connected worlds. And people might hate on that. I've been hearing a little slick hate and everything. I ain't gonna say no names, but they really mad that you united worlds and different groups and different people. I just got off the phone with some brothers in Africa talking about they saw you live with Unscrubber Minds and how powerful that live was, and they in Africa talking about this stuff right now. So we'll get on that a little bit later. I named this live today Black August, and of course it's a powerful one because it's of course the Lion Gate portal. All hell SikMet, all hell that divine energy. So it's most definitely an
Divine
honor to be
feminine
you
energy.
know what I'm saying? And after that, I mean, how do you feel about the Lionsgate portal? We're in Black August. You want to explain what Black August is?
Black August was a commemoration created for the Soledad brother George Jackson originally. It also extends to the recognition of political prisoners and freedom fighters that rose up from our community. You know, Geronimo Pratt, your Mutula Shakurs. We are different tribes, but we all have freedom fighters. We had freedom fighters come as entertainers. We had freedom fighters come as poets. We had freedom fighters come as dancers. Because everybody got to try to figure out from a different angle how to attack the enemy that's occupying us successfully in order to overcome. George Jackson, Soledad brother, founder of the BGF, Black Guerrilla Family, also he was instrumental in the military strategic thinking of the original Black Panthers out of Oakland. He used to write Huey and Stokely from prison. George Jackson was serving a 1 year to life sentence. That's what they call an illegal sentence in today's law. But at the time George Jackson was sentenced, that was just a way to try to make us submit to their system. And George Jackson was in prison having the same effect as Rod Hayes, but he was in prison with no internet. Right? He was writing letters to Angela Davis, became known as the Soledad letters. Angela Davis to his brother, to his mama, to his pops, right? And so the letters became, I think that's the book that became Blood in My Eye. The quote, Blood in My Eye, is an old Southern quote from Southern Mississippi culture. But it became made famous after the assassination of George Jackson because they murdered him because the prison guards claimed he had a pistol in his afro. But they never produced the pistol. Let that sink in. So they shoot him down on the what they say was a prison escape. We don't know whether to believe their story or not. I'm leaning where I don't believe them. But he had been telling his mama and his dad in letters, they not gonna never let me out here. They will murder me first. And his parents was trying to tell him to don't think like that, you know, pray to Jesus. And he was like, Jesus is not coming to get me out of the custody of these people. Right? So when they finally killed him, his mama, they asked her for an interview. They asked her if she had anything to say about her son getting killed. And she turned and she looked at the reporter and she said, blood in my eye. That was all she said. And she wouldn't explain what it mean or nothing. But before they killed George, they killed Jonathan, his little brother. Right? Jonathan Jackson took over the courtroom doing his work for the community because he was trying to tell us, the ones who don't know what's going on, these courts is a fraud. The only reason why they have any power is because the police. They don't have no power. All of their jurisdiction is contrived, and I'll put my life on the line, and one day somebody gonna find out.
Thanks.
And that's why they killed Jonathan Jackson. Now we gotta remember, they took Angela Davis to trial for aiding and abetting Jonathan Jackson. And she beat the case. So they tell you it was some foul stuff going on the government side of things. Right? So the commemoration of Black August was a commemoration of the Soledad brother George Jackson and all freedom fighters that followed that wouldn't bend, fold, or buckle under the weight of the oppressor. They still, if you read, he got two books. One is called The Soledad Brother, the other one called Blood in My Eye. The Soledad Brother was like stuff that he would write, like philosophies and opinions of George Jackson, right? But in those letters, you get to see him telling his parents what he's up against, you know, and he got the guerrilla mentality. The guerrilla mentality is, I'm an easygoing guy until you try to take advantage of me. Right? It's a story of one of his writings about, he said, the Muslims came to me and told me, we ain't going to trial, we finna tear this MF up, right? He said, and the Black Liberation Group came to me and said, we ain't going to trial, we about to tear this up. So nobody supposed to be going to trial. He said, I went to the trial hall with dignity and pride on my own without any of the aid of the brothers that was about to fight this dastardly fight. And he said, they caught me coming back from the chow hall. He said, they asked me, hey, brother, what is you doing, man? He say, I fight a revolution way better on a full stomach.
I say. Man, how you feeling about this Malcolm-Jamal Warner? He's now an ancestor, also gone in this Black August.
I don't know if we know the Gemini flip of Malcolm-Jamal Warner. But we know him as Theo from the Cosby Show. We don't know him as Malcolm named after Malcolm X. We don't know that side of him. Most of us don't. Like, I didn't even know he was into activism all the time he was being active. But he was using theater, right? He was writing poems. They want to know